Good morning? Yeah,
It's still morning.
Still morning.
It is.
I was like, wait a second. I was going to say afternoon, but it is not afternoon. Good morning, friends. We've got just over 1 minute till we have game number 8 here at the MRDA North American Qualifiers. We want to give, first and foremost, obviously, a big shout out to Sociopath, who is just so amazing. They are the New England Roller Derby Report's production sponsor. They're a skater run business offering so many things like custom order, sewn to order leg wear. It's super size inclusive, so it's designed to fit you. They've got helmet cover options, armbands. You can check them out at Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH.ca for all the details. I am Loose Change.
I am the cash man.
Cash money here. What?
what?
So,
It's Team Monetary today.
yes.
Loose Change and Cash Man.
Hey, yo. All right. Well, so we are going to be introducing these teams probably in between because we have just heard that wonderful rolling whistle. So we're going to start. We've got Lane County Concussion going up against Race City Rebels, green and black versus black and green. Starting off, we've got number 42 for Lane County Concussion. That is Grimes with the star.
Shaggy for Race City Rebels there. He is the jammer on record. Does have the lead as well.
Number 17, Shaggy.
Still looking to break free is number 42, Grimes, not making it quite yet, but Shaggy making a pass around the outside, picks up 4 points on that pass.
First points on the board here in this Lane County Concussion versus Race City Rebels. Pack spread out between the apex of turns 3 and 4 and that jammer and pivot line. Shaggy coming up at the top, beautiful spin on that outside, and again with the spin, staying in bounds and picking up another 4 points. Meanwhile, we have had a
star pass.
I'm not sure where the star is for the Lane County Concussion. We will update you when we know. But Pack nice and thick there on and turn 1. Nice little pop to the outside defensive destroyer, hitting Shaggy out and recycling him back to that jammer line.
I see Grimes has got it in his hand, but
that's where it is.
He was playing a little D there against Shaggy as Shaggy was coming around, so I wondered if he had already passed it off, but he had not.
All right. Well, so Race City Rebels, Shaggy, another scoring pass. So Race City Rebels sitting at 16 points now. Shaggy coming in to the back of that pack over there around the second straightaway. Meanwhile, Grimes still playing some great defense and hitting them out, recycling everybody back.
Never making the initial pass, though, and Shaggy, I mean, how can you not miss him? He's smiling every time he comes around by us. Big old grin on his face.
All right, well, that was 20 points for the Race City Rebels. And on the jam line, we've got number 70, the birthday boy himself, Doc Flatliner in green for the Race City Rebels. Going up against, I believe that is Dr. B, number 69.
In his slim Good Buddy pants there. You can see all the muscle structures.
Oh, all of the muscle structures. That's a good band name, All the Muscle Structures. Second lead in a row going to Race City Rebels. Doc Flatliner, powered by his birthday. Up at the front of the pack, we've got Dr. B making that initial pass.
Flatliner really getting stuck behind Dr. Multiclass PhD, not giving up an inch out there.
Doc Flatliner was able to pick up 3 points, though, before calling it off. Lane County Concussion still held scoreless at 0. Cashman, who's out there now?
Got Hot Fuzz for Lane County going up against number 28, Ruckus, for your Race City Rebels in green. Both teams green and black, so, you know.
Green and black versus black and green. As someone who enjoys the color green, I'm okay with this. Pack slowly moving there into turn one. Forearm being assessed to Lane County's jammer. That was Hot Fuzz. So this is not only a power jam for Race City, number 28, Ruckus, with the lead, but 30 seconds to increase that 23 points that Race City Rebels has.
Ruckus goes around the outside of the pack, turn one, comes back to the inside, gets knocked down.
Beautiful little assist there. Looks like that is another 4 points. Number 969, Cutthroat Cali, heading to the penalty box for Lane County Concussion.
Hot Fuzz makes the initial pass. Next time around, put some points up on the board. Ruckus can decide that, and he does decide to call it off.
It's almost like they can hear you, and Ruckus goes, oh, no, you don't get any points. Not today.
I know you were that close. That close.
So close.
Yeah.
It's a trap, number 22, out there for Race City Rebels, going up against number 53, Mr. Large. So far, you know, we're seeing a 4-jammer rotation. I mean, we're 4 jams in. So who knows what that will look like in the future. Mr. Large, taken off. Stuck at the back of that pack, hit to the inside.
Both these teams vying, of course, every team here this weekend is vying to go to Denver. It's a trap, makes the initial pass.
There's a no pass, no penalty for It's a Trap, so he is not lead, but that definitely opens it up because Mr. Large takes a lead for the first time for Lane County Concussion.
They have been shut out on the scoreboard so far, so maybe they can get some points on here.
Pit Bulldozer excited and cheering, saying, go Trap.
There's a tornado twister picking up 2 points. He's spinning around as he's going around the outside of the pack.
So with that, Lane County on the board at 2, Race City at 35. And we are just over 6 minutes into this first half of game number 8 here at the North American qualifiers for MRDA.
Got Grimes out there again for Lane County. Let's see what he does.
Grimes going up against Shaggy, so a repeat of the first jam that we saw. Shaggy pushing at the front of the pack, Grimes stuck at the back. It is Shaggy. Oh, Shaggy threw first, kind of, but picked up a forearm. So Grimes is through and lead. Well, Shaggy reports to that penalty box for 30 seconds. Grimes coming around turn 3 from that slow-moving pack, looking to find a foothold. Takes that outside into the inside, and there's 4 points.
Love it. Going skating backwards past the last point there.
You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and in Grimes' case, that is skating forward to skating backwards.
And he's a big jammer. He's not your atypical jammer. He's probably the biggest guy on his team out there on the track right now.
And yet so agile, and just, you know, Grimes is one of those skaters that can basically just step in and do it all, utilizing that outside line, pushing back past those last couple of Race City Rebel blockers, and that's another 4 points for Grimes.
Yeah, perfect example is in the first jam he played D even though he had the star.
Yep. Shaggy was released from that penalty box, did not pick up any points, but Grimes was able to put another 2 on the board, or excuse me, yes, maybe 2. 11 points right now for Lane County Concussion, 35 for Race City Rebels. So both of these teams played yesterday. Let's see, who did they play yesterday?
I believe Lane. We had the list here. I think Lane played Chicago.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Sure. We'll check and confirm that. But we've got number 69 out there, Dr. B with the star for Lane County Concussion. Stuck at the back of the pack, but that is none other than the birthday boy, number 70, Doc Flatliner, pushing at the front. Lane County Concussion blocker heading to the penalty box. Doc Flatliner picks up lead and celebrates potentially by having a birthday party. That's what I'm going to go with.
Do you think that he's motivated because it's his birthday? Because some people have career games on their birthdays.
I'm going to go with yes, because if it was my birthday, I would want nothing more than to be able to play some roller derby and hang out with my friends.
And it's playoffs,
How could you not?
Yeah, where else do you want to be?
One of the wonderful things, as the Race City Rebels were actually starting to warm up, they all had little birthday hats on. And so I was like, oh, it's somebody's birthday. So I had to go and double check with them. And it was funny because they were like, yeah, it's Doc Flatliners. He's 23 years old.
You'll find pictures if you go online. I'm sure you'll find them. Everyone had a hat on. It was great. I was hoping they would play in them, but may not make regulations.
That just seems a little bit unsafe. Hot Fuzz out there for Lane County Concussion, number 50 with the star. Pushing at the front of the pack, stuck towards the back. That is Race City Rebels, number 28, Ruckus. Pack spread out between pivot line and turn 2. And there we have Lane County Concussion picking up lead. Second time so far out of these 7 jams. Hot Fuzz looking to put some points on the board.
Lane County in Chicago, just confirming it was yesterday. Yes, that happened.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I will say that we saw Race City in Mohawk Valley yesterday as well.
Yes. And so both of these teams are coming in with at least one loss.
Now, you can make it through in this tournament with one loss.
You can indeed.
So they got a lot to fight for still this Sunday, playoff Sunday.
It's still early. Mr. Large out there, number 53 for Lane County Concussion going up against, it's a trap, number 22 for Race City Rebels.
Can you say it like from Star Wars?
It's a trap.
Yeah.
I like it because it's got 2 P's as well.
Yeah. So it's almost like Sound of Music, Von Trapp. No.
It's a trap, knows that we are talking about him and picks up lead. Mr. Large with one last blocker at the front of, Yes, it is Mr. Large. Yeah. I thought I called him Dr. Large for a moment. Mr. Large clears that initial pass, no points, as it is called.
You're going to have to wait till he graduates before you can call him Doctor.
This is true. Large. This is true. I mean, maybe he is a doctor. I don't know. But that's not his derby name, so that's not what I'm going to call him. All right, got a couple of folks hanging out in the penalty box. Looks like we've got 1 Race City Rebel and 2 Lane County Concussion folks in there. So a little bit of a smaller pack than usual. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Shaggy with a beautiful apex jump there and just comes around.
He's got a great smile. He's like, he definitely loves what he's doing.
It's like, I'm just going to roller skate and have fun. Picks up lead, breaks through those walls, picks up 4 and calls it. Grimes out there, unfortunately held scoreless. Race City Rebels 42, Lane County 15.
I love Shaggy's going back to the bench and does a little pirouette and smiling the whole time.
If you can have fun while playing roller derby, I think that's very important. I think it's great.
Well, now we have a doctor out there, Dr. B with the star for Lane County.
Excellent.
And actually, doctor versus doctor. We got Doc Flatliner.
This is true.
For Race City.
Yeah, Doc v. Doc.
It's a battle of the doctors.
2 doctors enter. 1 doctor hopefully picks up lead. And yes, indeed, Dr. B picks up lead. So we've got Doc Flatliner in the penalty box for Race City Rebels. So Dr. B on a power jam. And there we've got 4 points. So if you are a Lane County Concussion fan, this is exactly what you want to see, is this opportunity of a power jam.
Oh, we have a doctor going to the penalty box with a back block, Dr. B.
I mean, doctors want to do what other doctors do. Oh my goodness. Doc Flatliner just had the most epic, just beautiful apex jump right there. Clears it, picks up. I mean, that was just gorgeous. Now coming through, looking to put some points on the board. Stymied at the top of that pack by a couple of those Lane County Concussion blockers.
Yeah, ran right into Photobomb there, who held him up.
Photobomb and Defensive Destroyer.
Four points on the board.
Dr. B coming up against not sure, need to check that number.
Both doctors picking up 4 points on that pass.
Both doctors, as it stands right now, both of them picked up 8 points. So Lane County at 23, Race City at 54.
Ruckus wearing the star for Race City Rebels in the green. Number 50, Hot Fuzz for Lane County Concussion.
Number 28, Ruckus. So, I mean, both of these teams utilizing a fairly similar, basically 3-4 or so rotation for their jammers. Hanging out up there at that pivot line, slow moving as both of the jammers looking for a little bit of purchase to get through. Oh, and there it is, Race City taking it. Number 28, Ruckus with the lead.
Picked up speed there a little bit as soon as both jammers got through.
Ruckus clearing a couple extra blockers, decides to call it. Doesn't want to let Hot Fuzz add any more points to Lane County Concussion score.
So 3 points go to Race City. They're 57-23, 13:59 left in this first half. It's a trap for Race City Rebels going up against Mr. Large for the Lane County Concussion. The blockers have now moved back to the jam line this time. Last time it started up on the pivot line, so we're getting a little look-see from both of them, styles of defense.
It's a trap, finds that outside line, breaks free, picks up lead, gets recycled just a little, but then is able to fully clear that pack again. Coming up, hoping to put some more points on the board, but meeting him at the back of that pack are those 4 blockers for the Lane County Concussion. One of the Race City Rebels heading to the penalty box. Oh, nice little hop, skip, and a jump there by number 53, Mr. Large.
That was a direction of play penalty right there.
Oh my goodness. So many inside lines and outside lines being utilized. Mr. Large goes to the inside, hit to that outside. Meanwhile, It's a Trap is pushed to that outside as well. It's a Trap still lead jammer, tries to make that apex hop. Nope, realizes doesn't, and recycles himself.
Got a minute and a half left in this jam. Still no points put up on the board. Cut penalty going to It's a Trap.
Oh, so we will have a full 2 minutes, less than 20 seconds.
Forearm, sorry.
Excuse me, about 20 seconds remain. So now, there we go. Mr. Large taking just a moment to try to decide where he wants to head. And he's heading straight through the pack.
Getting a little help there from number 5 there, Sergeant Pepper.
Yep, so at the very end there was a star pass to Photobomb for Lane County Concussion. So Photobomb ended as their jammer.
Ray City putting up 4 points, a 2-minute jam there. 4 points falling in the end there.
61 Ray City, Lane County 23, and Ray City calling for a team timeout. Kind of, you kind of figured that was going to happen, seeing as all of the Ray City team is currently at their bench.
Yeah, nobody is out there, yeah.
It would have been a very interesting jam to start with only concussion blockers out there. What would happen? Because if there's no, can you technically score points if there's nobody from the other team out there?
I don't think so. You have to have at least a jammer on the track, or you can't start the jam. So it is a 61-23. It's a lead by Ray City Rebels here with 11:22 left in the first half. Very defensive struggle we're seeing out there. It's a great defense style, too, like to kill penalties. The pack picks up speed a little bit at times, trying to slow down the other jammers at time. But I'm very impressed with Ray City's defense. They're doing a great job. Lane County, I'm not saying anything bad about them either. They're out there just, they've got a great couple players out there. They just need the right breaks at the right times to, break that jammer free, put some points up.
Indeed. So, number 27. Nope.
Well, we got people on the message board. Thank you so much for the messages. So Sergeant Pepper broke someone's neck, General Boomy, at scrimmage at one time. He hits like a truck. I believe so. We do have a lead jam. It's Grimes there for Lane County Concussion.
Yep, it's a trap. Started in the penalty box, but was standing, so did not have that much left of a penalty. But Grimes able to use that power start to pick up lead, and there's 4 points. Meanwhile, it's a trap reporting back to that penalty box, so this will be another power jam for Grimes.
And Grimes with the lead can call it off at any time. Sometimes his strategy was to keep the jammer on in the penalty box. Let's see what.
If you've got the jammer in the penalty box and have the opportunity to put points on the board. Oh, beautiful.
Wow. Big man to be doing an apex jump there. Beautiful.
One of the things with this concrete is that you hear everything, whether it's someone hitting the floor from a fall or coming down from a jump. But that is another 4 points. So Grimes currently sitting at 16. Highest point scoring jam for the Lane County Concussion so far. And Grimes is not looking to stop anytime soon.
Ray City just had a star pass to Zeckner.
And of course, just as I say that, Grimes calls it off because that is the announcer's curse.
And I may have mentioned right before that jam that I think only Lane County just needed a couple things to go their way and they'd be back in this game. And I think a 19-point jam might have been what the doctor prescribed.
Because they both have doctors on their team.
Yeah.
I like it. Good job.
Speaking of Dr. B's jamming here for Lane County, going up against number 17, Shaggy.
So, let's see. That was 19 points for Lane County. Ray City held scoreless, so that is 42-61 with 9.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Remember, friends, we still have another 30 minutes to go. Also, General Bummy, Grimes is the Apex Prince. I agree with you 100%. All hail the Apex Prince.
A big guy like that doing an apex jump, you want to be out of his way, to be honest
Let's be realistic. Anybody that is able to pull off an apex jump is amazing because, I could never do that. I would literally just crush and crumble into 1,000 little pieces just trying to do like a bunny hop. So the fact that you've got athletes that can not only make the amazing jump, but then stay on their skates and in bounds.
That's half the deal with the apex jump is hitting it, landing it,
Like everybody that can do apex jumps I'm just in awe of you. Know this. Even if you think that apex jumps, you're just tiny little ones.
I will say that if I was doing apex jump, I would dive as long as I landed inbound on the track and then get back up. That's the only way I could hit it.
I don't think that would be considered an apex jump then,
No.
Cashman.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, so that timeout is over, and we are back at it. So let's see. We've got the Dr. B out there, number 69, picking up lead for Lane County. Meanwhile, that is Shaggy, number 17. I think this is the first time Shaggy's out there that he has not picked up lead. Peck spread out a little bit between that jammer and light pivot line as they all converge on the pivot.
This is Race City's 8th lead jam of this first half, 6 going towards Lane County. So,
and there we go. Shaggy clears that initial pass, but Dr. B calling it off. Let's see. 3 points, it looks like, for Lane County, 45 to 61.
16-point difference, 8:15 left in this first half.
Let's see. Attorney General, thank you. You are wonderful as well. The Attorney General said that we're doing a great job, Cashman.
Thank you, Attorney General. Appreciate that. We've got Hot Fuzz wearing the star for Lane County against the other doctor on the track.
The birthday doctor at that, number 70, Doc Flatliner for those Race City Rebels. Pack split front and back, but Doc Flatliner picks up lead. Oh, I heard a whistle. It is the pivot that's being sent to the penalty box for Lane County Concussion. For a moment, I thought it was the jammer, but it is just the pivot.
Psychotic Angel, 3-2-1.
Oh, Psychotic Angel, such a great asset out on that track. Ooh, big hit there as Doc Flatliner's coming through that inside line, able to take it, bounces, picks up another 4 points.
Beautiful, absorbed it from Cutthroat Cali there. It just absorbed that hit and spun it around, stayed on the track. Seen a lot of great balance out there, too, during this game. A lot of staying in bounds.
Hot Fuzz clearing that initial pass. Did not put any points on the board for Lane County. But then it was 12 points for Race City by Doc Flatliner.
Got Ruckus, number 28, wearing the star for Race City this jam. Going up against number 53. That's right, you love him, we love him, Mr. Large.
We do love Mr. Large.
That's what they call me when I go shopping for clothes.
Mr.
I said maybe it's more like a Mr. X Large, but you know.
Yep, that's Cashman, friends. He's here all about.
We have a 4-arm penalty on Ruckus going to the penalty box. It is now a power jam for Mr. Large in Lane County.
Coming around turn 2 over there, and Lane County picking up lead. That is Mr. Large.
At least if you get by him a T-shirt, you know what size he is, right? Okay.
Dad jokes for days over here, friends. Dad jokes for days. So Mr. Large on a power jam, as that is number 28, Ruckus from Race City Rebels, leaving the penalty box. Mr. Large at the top of that pack, couple of final blockers, but coming up against number 1, 2, 3, Diamond, as well as number 33, Kid. Clears them for 4 points, but Diamond and Kid definitely, you know, making Mr. Large work for it.
Mr. Large still does have the lead too, so he can call it off any time, especially now Ruckus has made the initial pass.
If I hypothesized, I would say he was going to call it off any moment.
Voila.
I'm psychic. Okay, so General Bummy says, fun fact, Psychotic Angel and Psych, the coach, are Hot Fuzz's daughters, and Dr. B is his son-in-law. So in other words,
it's a family affair.
It is 100% all about family on Lane County Concussion, which, I mean,
I think is awesome.
That is great.
It's a trap with a star for Race City Rebels going up against Mr. Grimes, or Grimes. I call him Mr. because he's big and I don't want to mess with him.
Grimes picking up lead on that turn 2. But it's a trap still stuck, almost clearing that pack, but nice hit to the inside by Cutthroat Cali, causing him to recycle all the way back. And there we have Race City Rebels with a star pass to number 77.
Roller Coaster.
Roller Coaster.
It was Grimes who really brought Lane County back into this game with a jam a couple of jams ago, and he got the lead, picked up 8 points this jam. He always seems to stop the bleeding when he comes out here, and now it is a 12-point game with 3:40 left in this first half.
You know, when this started, it definitely sort of seemed that Race City Rebels was going to establish lead early and kind of run away with it. Thus far, with 3 minutes and plus change in remaining, that is not necessarily the case anymore. So I'm excited to see what the next 30 minutes, the second half, is going to bring.
Yeah, I always call like the first 5 minutes of a game the feel-out process. You know, maybe it's a four and call it. Mm-hmm. And we saw a lot of Race City doing very well in the beginning, but Lane County definitely has surged back here to make this game very competitive. And we have another star pass there going to number 24 for Race City. That is Punky with a star now.
So out there, Dr. B picked up lead, got points, and called it. That was 4 points for Lane County. So with that, we are at a 8-point game now as that clock slowly ticks down. Hot Fuzz on the line going up against birthday boy Doc Flatliner. Looks like the penalty box is empty, so we've got full contingents of skaters out there for both teams as they roll back to meet the jammers that are released on the whistle.
I'm wondering if they're going to sing happy birthday to him some point at this game, the whole crowd.
I mean, it's his birthday, so he's working and works on picking up that lead. Doc Flatliner with lead status. Coming up to the back of that pack, being stymied a bit by a few of those Lane County Concussion blockers. Meanwhile, oh my goodness, Hot Fuzz hit to that outside, recycling all the way to that pivot line again. But Doc Flatliner through the pack for 4 points so far. Nice hit to the inside there by 84 Zechner, causing Hot Fuzz to have to recycle.
Another 4 points on that pass for Doc Flatliner. As we're coming up to the end of this first half, very even in lead jams for both teams. There's 9 for Race City so far, 8 for Lane County. We have a back block on going against Doc Flatliner. Now it's a power jam for Lane County. And we look like we have a star pass too.
Yep, so it looks like star pass is going to 010 Dragon Balls, the captain for Lane County Concussion. Dragon Balls coming up against number 84, Zechner. Zechner doing his best to keep Dragon Balls.
That's great. Defensive defender for Lane County. Knocks the player who knocked Dragon Balls out, so allowed him to come back in way farther up on the track against the pack, and then instead of having to be recycled way behind. Very smart play by the defensive player.
Cutthroat Cali out there with Van Slam coming up against, and that assist by Defensive Destroyer, trying their darndest to keep Doc Flatliner with fewer and fewer points. Doc Flatliner does call it. Looks like 3 points that pass, a total of 11 for Race City Rebels.
Looks like we have an official review. Yes, an official review. We got 12 seconds left in this first half. It is a 19-point lead for Race City Rebels. And it's been a great game so far. I'm so excited. The second half, I have a feeling, is going to be a back and forther as well. So,
I mean, when you think about the fact that we are currently at a 19-point difference, we've had 19, 20-point jams.
Yes, we have.
So realistically, it's not unheard of.
In fact, that's a high jam of the game so far. Is a 20-point jam.
21 actually.
21.
21, and that was by Grimes for Lane County. Race City did have a 20-point at the very beginning.
By Shaggy. Oh, what'd I say? They're singing happy birthday. Doc Flatliner. It's a good time to get in, I guess, It could be a tense situation at the end of the game, and nobody wants to be happy then.
So we've got... So like we were talking about points, we've had a 21-point jam, we've had a 20-point jam. So having a 19-point difference when we still have another 30 minutes of roller derby to play is not in any way, shape, or form unsurmountable. So as we get some additional information about the official review, that whistle means that we are going to be back at it. Number 53 out there, Mr. Large, going up against number 17, Shaggy, in what could potentially be the last jam of this first half. The whistle did blow, I promise. You heard it. People were just getting themselves ready.
So Lane County was asking for a insubordination on Doc Flatliner because they felt he didn't leave the track fast enough when he going for the penalty. The referees did not see it that way, and the official review has been lost. But we're at 0 time left in the first half right now. We're all in jam time, and
Yep. So with that, like you were talking, the jam will run until either it ends or the lead jammer calls it. Lead jammer being none other than Shaggy for the Race City Rebels.
Race City having a little burst here and scoring here at the end of the first half. Kind of picking up where they started in this game.
Looks like we've got a star pass to Photobomb for Lane County Concussion. So Photobomb jammer of note now for Lane County. Meanwhile, yep, there it goes. Shaggy picking up 4 more and calls it off. That is going to end our first half, and we are sitting at Race City Rebels 92, Lane County Concussion 65. So what was a 19-point has turned into a 27. I was gonna say 28. I'm not sure. I'll come back. We'll do some math. We've got some halftime. New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath's skater-run business offering custom, sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands and helmet cover options for scrimmage options or competition options. Team discounts are available. You can check them out at sociopath.ca. SEWCIOPATH.ca for all the details that you need. I am Loose Change.
I am the Cash Man.
We will be back. All right, welcome, friends. We are back a little bit earlier than anticipated just because we've got a couple stats and fun information that we want to be able to share with you. I am Loose Change.
I am the Cash Man.
Cashman, so tell me about, so we've seen a fair number of penalties.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about those.
Well, I go always and look for who's in penalty trouble for the second half, and then keep an eye on them, seeing how they change their play a little bit. Sometimes they loosen up a little bit. Sometimes they stick with what they're doing. And Ray City right now has nobody in penalty trouble. Nobody with more than 2.
Excellent.
The whole team. Now on the other hand, Lane County, everyone's doing good except for a couple people, and it's like Psychotic Angel, who we see is out there, is doing everything. She's everywhere. It's no surprise she's sitting on 4 penalties to start the second half.
And 4 penalties, let's be realistic, that's kind of average. You've had 30 minutes of gameplay. As long as you don't hit that magical number 7, you're good. You can go into the last 30 minutes with 6 if that's what you have.
And also with 4, another defensive player, Defensive Destroyer, who I see breaking up things left and right out there with 4. But everybody else is doing pretty good. I don't think penalties will come into play in this second half.
So, we have a fairly tight game, 65-92. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on. So, Lane County has passed the star in the first half twice. Race City has passed it 4 times. Both of them have approximately the same number of multi-point jams, 5 for Lane County, 6 for Race City. The one thing that I find very interesting, the longest lead streak, so the streak in which a team has received lead in a row, they are both sitting at 3. So they can get 3 leads in a row, and then that streak gets broken. Lane County has earned lead 9 times, Race City 11 times. So there's and then talking a little bit about penalties, there's been 6 power jams for Lane County, 2 power jams for Race City. So, kind of talks a little bit more about, again, where those penalties are sort of shaken out at. So,
actually, one of them was very important in getting Lane County back into this game.
Yes.
Grime getting having the power jam out there and picking up 21 points on that one jam.
And that's the highest point scoring jam overall, not only for Lane County, but in the first half in general. Race City did have a 20-point jam as well, so very close when you kind of look at it from that aspect. But since we do have a couple of seconds here, real quick, we want to say a big, giant thank you to New England Roller Derby Report. It maybe have taken me a day and a half, but I have finally gotten it right, and I was practicing, yes. Chad is here. He is the reason that you have this Twitch stream. He is wonderful. We thank him so very, very much. And now we are back to the action. Oh my goodness. Big hit there on Shaggy. Kind of just bounces off of it, but Shaggy is lead.
Defensive Destroyer there, the one with 4. We talked 4 penalties. A little bit of an aggressive player, putting that body to Shaggy there.
Yeah.
Spun around, stayed in bounds still, made the initial pass, and now has made 4 points on the first scoring pass. We do have a star pass from Grimes to number 99, Defensive Destroyer, speaking of the devil.
All right, 4 points there, and it is called.
Lane did pick up 2 after the star pass, so I think that may be the first time we saw a star pass actually score.
Ooh.
I'm going to say, because most of the time they would get called off right when they were coming back to the pack. Happy birthday, boy. Doc Flatliner with a star for Race City. This jam going up against, looks like Dr. B. There's a couple doctors out there on the jam line.
All the doctors everywhere. Let the doctors hit the floor.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
We do love the doctors out there, but especially love to Doc Flatliner, birthday boy, and lead jammer for Race City Rebels. So, number 69, Dr. B, threw on that initial pass, And Doc Flatliner calling it off, putting 3 on the board, holding Lane County scoreless.
Dr. B coming off with a big smile on his face. He's just a little short of getting some points there at the very end. Nice hit from Punky out there, too. I didn't quite see that, but if we watched our video feed, we probably see better than just watching the track at times, and the video feed is incredible. Hot Fuzz with a star for Lane County. That's right, number 28, Ruckus, jamming for Race City.
Ruckus getting the heave-ho from number 99, Defensive Destroyer.
And Hot Fuzz picks up lead jam. And we...
Ooh, big hit there by Grimes. Hits Ruckus to the outside. Grimes picking up a penalty, will be reporting to the penalty box.
Photobomb going as well, getting a forearm penalty right in that same cluster that happened there a minute ago. And we have a track cut on Hot Fuzz, losing lead jam now. We'll go the full 2 minutes.
So with that Ruckus only jammer out there, there's a number of folks hanging out in that penalty box. 2 blockers now for Race City. 3 blockers on the track for Lane County Concussion.
Penalties are contagious. They just went like crazy. We just lost 4 players in like
a matter of moments.
Yeah, it was.
But then the nice thing always happens. They are able to come back to the track. Grimes back out there and beautiful.
Roller Coaster making a huge shot there, working all over the place. Getting some really great defensive roller derby right now.
Grimes setting up and just sort of waiting for Ruckus, doing his darndest. Meanwhile, we've got a little backpack consisting of Gallagher, for sure, along with a number of other skaters, giving Hot Fuzz the business.
Oh! Hot Fuzz almost runs over to the defender Roller Coaster, and lots of penalties going. Hot Fuzz going back to the penalty box with a forearm penalty.
All right, so let's see how this shakes out. It looks like 8 points for Race City, 4 points for Lane County. And I see at least 2 people from Lane County Concussion in that penalty box. One of them is wearing the star.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a power start for number 17, Shaggy. Able to spend 30 seconds unopposed as a jammer and picks up lead. Took about 15 seconds actually for Shaggy to work his way through that pack and pick up lead.
Good 15 seconds of penalty killing there, which should spring the jammer any second now.
And there we have first scoring pass, 4 points in the air for Shaggy.
Shaggy taking a big hit by number 23, Showtime, staying in bounds the whole, absorbing that hit. Not that time, though, that's for sure. The second hit there on the outside of the track took Shaggy out. Shaggy, followed by the defender, was allowed to stand back up, come back in on the track.
Hot Fuzz reporting to the penalty box for a track cut penalty. Thought that the blocker for Race City was out of play and re-entered in front of him. Shaggy currently 3-point scoring passes into this jam.
Hot Fuzz guy has 3 jammer penalties in the last 2 jams.
Oh, goodness. So depending upon how many penalties he had going in, he could be sitting at
5 or 6. You know,
unofficial stats penalties, obviously. We're not that fancy, so. Let's see what's going on. Oh, at the jammer line for the first time, we've got number 1, 2, 3 Diamond for Race City. Rebels.
Unopposed too.
Yeah.
Well, at least for a few seconds now that Hot Fuzz is back on the track.
But Diamond utilizing that, takes an inside line, picks up lead. Hot Fuzz hit to the outside, kind of Superman's himself on the floor. And re-enters at the back of the pack. Diamond clearing, picking up 4 points so far.
This is the third straight jam for Hot Fuzz. He's got to be getting a little tired out there, even though he's had those 30-second rests.
He has had those 30-second rests, and as you say that, Hot Fuzz actually passed the star to Defensive Destroyer. So Defensive Destroyer ended as jammer for Lane County Concussion. And we've got...
Hot Fuzz.
Yep. Hot Fuzz taking himself to the bench. On the line, we've got Grimes, number 42, going up against number 70, birthday boy himself, Doc Flatliner. Grimes on the outside line. Doc Flatliner trying to push up through the middle of the pack.
Nice move by Grimes on the outside of the pack. Busts free and picks up lead jam.
Grimes doing what Grimes does best, finding holes to put himself.
I want to see if he'll fly this jam. Given the opportunity, I'm sure he will. But this time he goes to the outside on the first scoring pass, picks up 4 points.
Wonderful toe stop work from Grimes, just up on those toe stops and shuffling along that outside line. Meanwhile,
and we have a star pass.
Indeed, that is number 24, Punky. Punky ending as the jammer for Race City.
Kind of lost it in the time it took Punky to go back and get it. The jam was called off. 6 points up on the board for Lane County. Got 20 minutes, almost 21 minutes left in the second half. Lane County really has got to find that. They need to find that offense they had when they had that spurt in the first half. They got Dr. B out there going up against Shaggy, so let's see what Dr. B can do.
If my math is correct, I think there's a 66-point difference. Don't quote me on that. Dr. B coming up against, let's see, that is number 13, Upchuck Norris. That is just like a magnet on Dr. B. And of course, as I say that, Dr. B finds that outside line, sneaks past, and picks up lead.
2 straight lead jams for Lane here. Like I said, they need to get back in this, find that offense.
Beautiful little apex jump hoppity hop there for Dr. B, picking up 4. And there we have some beautiful long strided jumps as well by Shaggy, number 17.
Shaggy getting that initial pass. Of course, Dr. B saying, I'll take some more points and call this off. 7-point jam. 2 straight scoring jams there for Lane County. None for Race City. So, they put 13 up to none, but they're still down 133 to 84 with 19:21 left in the second half.
56-point difference. Thank you, Flip Top. See, that's, the fact that I was only 10 points off, I was impressed about.
And Ruckus there picks up the lead jam, breaks that streak of 2 straight for Lane County.
Mr. Large out there with the star for Lane County. Cleared on that initial pass, but Ruckus is through for his 4 and calling it off. Four points there, Race City sitting at 137. Lane County held scoreless, and they are at 84. Grimes and Diamond wearing the stars for their respective teams, hugging it out a little bit.
Got the defense sitting up against the jam lineup. And before we can start,
there is an official review. Someone did not report to the penalty box.
forearm penalty on number 53 there, or
13.
13, sorry.
Yep, the Upchuck Norris for Race City. No, sorry.
Yes.
No. It was 13 for Photobomb.
Photobomb, yeah.
Because they both have, of course, the same numbers on a multitude of their players. So, my apologies, Upchuck Norris. That is not penalty assessed to you. It was assessed to Photobomb on the Lane County Concussion.
And he's getting explained to him right now by the referee. Little conjecture back and forth there.
So we are at the 18 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Lane County 84, Race City 137.
We're going into the, looks like the 9th jam of the second half. And so far, Race City has had 6 leads of the 9. And that won't help Lane County get back into the game. That's for sure. You know, they've got to start pulling out some more leads and no more jammer penalties, too. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, Race City, currently sitting at a 16-point high jam in this half. Lane County's highest point scoring jam was 7 points. But, oh, goodness, Diamond being assessed a track cut penalty, reporting to the penalty box. So this is going to give Grimes a power jam as well as a good opportunity to pick up lead. And just like that, he does. So Grimes is lead jammer for the Lane County Concussion.
And Lane County has 3 of the last 4 leads. So and Grimes was very instrumental in getting him back in the game in the first half. Let's see what he can do with a little unopposed jamming, or if there was for 30 seconds there.
Indeed, Diamond has been released from that penalty box, and there we go, star pass. So the new jammer for the Race City Rebels, that is number 84, Zechner.
And we get a little bit of fast pack now. Pack picked up speed.
Not only a fast pack, but also both of these jammers doing a little bit of running. Grimes still the lead jammer, so in control of that time. Takes to that outside line. Almost clears that full pack of 4 Race City Rebel blockers, but hits the outside, having to recycle back to that apex between turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Zechner stuck at the top of the pack, stymied by Upchuck Norris.
I love how the coach has a lot of confidence in that Lane County defense right now, because Grimes could have called that off, and there's an opportunity actually for Race to score here, but the defense has been holding back Zechner there. Pretty much stand still, and Grimes is still spinning around the track, picking up points.
Yeah, and that defense for Lane County includes Dragon Balls, the captain of Lane County Concussion, as well as Photobomb and Defensive Destroyer.
Full 2-minute jam we got there.
Full 2 minute, and that is 16 points for Lane County. They break the century mark, and this turns into a 37-point game with just under 16 minutes remaining. Highest point scoring jam so far this half. And I just heard a tweet, so
Are we getting asked for an official review here? I'm trying to see the coaches out there. Miss Coach Tiny. Or no, it's
I believe that is actually Psychotic Rage out there. So speaking of coaches, for Lane County Concussion, Psychotic Rage, as well as Coach Louie. And then for the Race City Rebels, they are coached by Tiny. And, one of the things is with these officials, we are so incredibly lucky to have such wonderful officials here. The skating officials for this game number 8 here is Doesn't Matter, Kylo Ref, Wifopathic Signal, Pete in the Pool, Guinness, Synapsing, Organic Panic, and Flow Block. Our other non-skating officials are TBD. I love that name. I actually talked to TBD earlier today, and I was like, I love your name so much. It totally confused me the first time I saw it. So, our non-skating officials, TBD, Kinky Linky, Panda Bear, Coconuts Chanel, Veronica Scars, Fatal Exception, Mia Culprit, India Pale Ale, India Pale Al, excuse me, and Dragon Harass, and Ms. Hyde. So, big thank you to all of our officials. Realistically, what it comes down to is without officials, there is no roller derby. But as well as the officials, all of our volunteers, all of our medics, all of our photographers, all of our track maintenance folks, we are incredibly lucky to have such a wonderful array of volunteers here at the North American qualifiers for MRDA.
And Nerd Derby, we couldn't do it without you either, brother.
I mean, Chad here, I'm lucky enough to sit next to Chad. Chad and the New England Roller Derby. I lost it. I practiced it, and now I lost it again. It is New England Roller Derby Report. See? There it goes. I got it. We are so incredibly lucky to have Chad here doing our wonderful, wonderful stream for all of you folks at home. So, big shout out and thank you to Chad.
The Lane County protested that Zechner from Ray City had a back block that, and the referees conferred with it, and they did agree with it. It was a back block now, so we have a power start now with number 69, Dr. B.
So yeah, we've got Zechner hanging out there in the penalty box.
And Lane County does retain their review.
Excellent. All right, so everybody hanging out at that pivot line as that whistle is blown. Dr. B, beautiful hop there, clears the pack, picks up lead.
He is the doctor, you know.
The doctor's in the house.
That's right.
Just what the doctor ordered. How many other doctor puns can we come up with in this jam as Dr. B is jamming, hitting that pack at the apex between turns 3 and 4, coming up against that strong 4 wall of blockers at the front, but getting a wonderful assist by Dr. Multiclass PhD.
There's just doctors everywhere on this track today.
I love roller derby. All the doctors, so many smart people. Meanwhile, Zechner has been released from the penalty box, but Zechner having a heck of a time coming up against that tripod. That does include number 23, Showtime, for sure, as well as I believe that was Sergeant Pepper, number 5, and 13, Photobomb.
And we do have a star pass from Zechner. It's interesting because Zechner received the star in the last jam, went to the penalty box. Now he hands the star off to Punky, and all said and done, 4 points go up on the board for Lane County.
Hard fought 4 points. 36 points are the differentiator between these two teams right now, with just about slightly more than 14 minutes remaining.
Okay, by the way, our medical staff, we have Splint Eastwood 911. They're helping us out.
Aw.
And we have to give kudos to everybody.
Yes. So, number 53, Mr. Large out there, and Doc Flatliner, both jamming for, oh my goodness, Doc Flatliner finds that outside line, pushes through, picks up lead. Happy birthday to him.
It's beautiful. Defensive destroyer just got stopped for a brief second and allowed Flatliner to go around the outside of him.
And that's all you need. Give them an inch. They will take a mile. Mr. Large threw on that initial pass, looking to put some points on the board, but Doc Flatliner's got 4 in the sky right now. So that's his first point scoring pass. As he's coming up on his second point scoring pass, Doc Flatliner wants more of those points in his pocket.
Mr. Large looked like he had some points, and unfortunately he went out of bounds, had to come back and recycle behind the deck. A beautiful balance there, Sting. Thought he stayed in balance. He got a forearm penalty on the defender who knocked him out. So.
Yep, so that's number 77, Roller Coaster for Race City with that forearm. Mr. Large still in there, still fighting
two Race City defenders on the track right now. Everyone else is in the penalty box.
Yep, so we have a star pass to number 99 defensive destroyer for Lane County Concussion. The two people that I feel like unofficially statted, because, that's how I have to roll. The two people, in my opinion, Lane County has been using defensive destroyer as the person who received the star pass. From Race City, number 24, Punky, it seems like, is the one that's primarily getting the star passes. So tell me if you disagree out there on the Twitter, or excuse me, on the Twitch fields. Feel free to tell me if you disagree.
Well, Punky's got it a few times, 2 times the second half. Roller Coaster once, but you are correct about defensive destroyer. 2 times, 2 passes this second half, 2 times going to him.
Okay, so there were lots of whistles happening. Grimes picking up lead is definitely one of them for Lane County Concussion.
Yeah.
Out there for number 28 for Race City, that is Ruckus.
I'm trying to figure out what he was pointing at after he had gotten the lead jam, because he was pointing at the line and skating backwards past the pack. Does pick up 2 points on that jam, calling it off. 11-17 left in the second half. 46-point lead for Race City.
Mm-hmm. And here we see, again, Diamond. I'm loving the fact that Race City is mixing up their jammer rotations just a little bit. Diamond out there again for Race City, and that is Dr. B for Lane County.
This is the 3rd jam for Diamond in the second half so far.
And Diamond through on that inside, picks up lead. And it looks like there we have it, a star pass to number 99 defensive destroyer for Lane County.
And 9 points put up so far by Diamond in the second half.
Well, let's add another 4 points to that. So 13 points for Diamond in the second half, because that was a 4-point scoring pass, and she picked him up and called it. That brings Race City to 160. So we've got an even 50 points that differentiate these two teams right now with just over 10 minutes remaining.
We're going to Grimes for this jam up against Shaggy, and Grimes, you may say he's not the last hope, but he seems to have these big jams when they definitely need them. So,
when you need somebody, Grimes is your go-to guy. Both of these jammers out real quickly, kind of at the same time. Grimes is lead. A nice little offense there, popping Shaggy out.
Now they're both absorbed back into the pack at the same time.
Not necessarily. You don't want to be both absorbed back. You want the other jammer to be absorbed back, and you able to stay free and clear.
And in the process, we get fast derby pack again, so it's
fast derby. Well, fast jammers at least.
Yeah. It was moving there for a while, and jammers made two actual revolutions around the track without scoring. Yep. So that pack was moving.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So big, little bit of an upset there. Even though Lane County was lead, they only picked up 1. Race City able to put a full 4 on the board. And it looks like there we have it. Lane County calling for a timeout.
It's interesting, is Lane County's had 6 lead jams in the last 9.
Oh, really?
But they're not picking up significant points in those leads. Mm-hmm. Now, in three of the last 5 have gone to Race City, and Race City made the most of them by having a 16-point jam in one of them. 4 and 3 in the other, but or 2 4s. But so what it is I think that Lane County is they're getting the lead, but then I think that Race City knows how to defend against that. Or they've been playing very great the second half and defending against that jammer break. Getting the lead. Even when they were in a position where they had 2 jammer penalties in one jam, that was the biggest jam so far in the second half for Lane County. They picked up 16, but 3 went to Race City.
So, I mean, if you look at the first half scores, Lane County was at 65. Race City was at 92. That was only, 27 points that separated these two. And now we're looking at a 53-point difference.
Yeah.
If my math is correct. Again, feel free to correct me, Twitch sphere. I'm doing math on the fly. It's not necessarily my strong suit.
We're doing it on the fly. That's exactly how it's being done. And so we have a great producer, so we couldn't have done it without.
This is true. She's providing us all of these wonderful numbers.
It may sound like we're making stuff up, but we aren't. It's being held in front of us.
Chloroform Cupcakes is our producer today, feeding us all of this wonderful information for you. So big ups and thank you to Cakes. We appreciate you. Back to the action now that timeout is completed. We've got Doc Flatliner, number 70 for the Race City Rebels, picking up a lead. But Dr. B out there.
Dr. B has handed the star off.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, because he was playing defense there for a second as well.
As I say it, Dr. B handing the star off to number 99, Defensive Destroyer. But Doc B with a great hit to the outside, causing Doc Flatliner to go all the way out and needing to reshuffle back to turn 2.
It's a beautiful move by Dr. B. You can do it all.
And there we go. Doc Flatliner clearing that pack. So that is 4 points. Defensive Destroyer backwards on 1 foot through those last couple of blockers. Has the star on. And there we go. Doc Flatliner keeping an eye on Defensive Destroyer, but calls it off.
Not a bad day for the birthday boy, huh?
When you start looking at the number of points that he has put on the board, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a darn good birthday. So as we tick down to about 7 minutes, team timeout being called by Lane County Concussion. Race City Rebels 172, Lane County Concussion 111. 61 points separate these two teams.
I think they're looking for, maybe time to catch their breath a little bit and make one giant run here at the end of the game to try to even this up. I think, unfortunately, both teams get the timeout.
Yeah.
So both of them are resting up here.
So in the last 4 jams, Lane County has been held to 1 point. If you go back 5 jams, they've been held to 3 points. If you're looking at if you're looking at Race City,
they've got 16 there. They look like they've picked up 16 in like the last 3 jams.
Yeah, so they're at 16, and then previous to that they were held scoreless. But then in jam number 11, in the 5th previous jam, that was another 16 points that they had actually scored. So, Race City's doing fairly well for themselves in these last few jams.
I will say Lane County's had some good runs in this game. We'll see what happens. We've got 7 minutes left. Can they do it? Can they, a
couple more 20-point jams, and who knows? So out there on with the stars, Ruckus for Race City, Mr. Large for Lane County. Pack coming around turns 3 and 4, and there we have it. Ruckus with the lead for Race City Rebels.
And we do have a star pass.
Ooh, to who? Are we sure?
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, it looks like maybe the star was just taken off.
It was stashed. Yes, it is stashed. No pass yet.
Tricky little star stashes.
Yeah, you really can't do anything when the pivot is in the penalty box. So
this is very true.
Yes.
I mean, you can take it off, and then you can get through and turn and put it back on. So there we have pushing at the front of the pack. Mr. Large trying to get through, but stuck behind a combination, a wonderful tripod there, consisting of Punky, Rowdy, and Roller Coaster with the assist. I can't quite tell who the assist is coming from, but that is number 33. That's who the assist. Kid. Some great offense and defense happening. Kind of a little pile up there on turn 1.
As Ruckus still does have a lead jam, the pack is still moving around the track. Not too much stagnicity there.
Photobomb just doing his darndest, but being assessed a forearm. Will be going to that penalty box.
A lot of work to put up 8 points in that jam, but great job by Race City there.
Yep, so less than 5 minutes remain. Race City at 180. Race City Rebels. Lane County Concussion at 111.
Yeah, it's back-to-back scoreless jams for Lane County, and really only picked up 1 point in the last 4 jams.
A little bit of track maintenance happening as per usual. We love our volunteers.
This is the second game of today. Can you imagine all the track maintenance is going to be going on by the time we're done?
So here's the deal for all of our wonderful friends and listeners at home. It's like 90 degrees in here, and we don't really have air conditioning. Our air conditioning consists of giant fans. I mean, what are they, like 3 feet fans maybe?
Yeah.
Like literally just fans. And then like the big garage door is open. So yesterday we got rained on because there was a whole lot of storms happening. And today it's just all about the heat.
And everything's moist, and I know people hate that word. I'm sorry, but it's just everything is.
You know, it's trying to swim through air. It's great. Grimes out there wearing the star, but that is Diamond for the Race City Rebels that is through and picks up lead.
You know, believe it or not, that's 3 straight leads for Race City now. You know, when it comes down to crunch time, we see Race City, you know, coming through. Oh, but unfortunately, Diamond gets called for a back block. Going to the penalty box is a power jam now, and defensive Diamond has the star. He was the pivot. This will be his 4th time, I believe, he's been handed the star. Yep. And defensive Diamond is now the jammer of record for Lane County.
Defensive Destroyer.
Sorry, defensive. I just merged the two.
I
It was
know.
Diamond and defensive Destroyer.
Diamond is so fabulous.
It was DDDD.
We want to just keep talking about her, but she's currently in the penalty box. So Defensive Destroyer out there with the star for Lane County.
So what's 90 degrees in, say, Celsius? Because apparently Fahrenheit's not a good temperature for everybody.
40?
Something like that, yeah.
I really don't know. It's
pretty warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Pretty warm.
4 points up on the board for Lane County so far this jam.
Diamond out of the penalty box,
Oh,
and just as
cut
defensive Destroyer reporting to the penalty box for Lane County on a track cut.
First time he's got called for a penalty since getting the star the second half. He did pretty well every time it was handed before, but this time he's in the penalty box.
And Diamond is through, picking up 4 points for Race City Rebels.
32 degrees Celsius there. Thank you. We love the people on Twitch commenting.
Thank you. I eat husky dogs for lunch. You are science. The science side of MRDA. That is not me. I am not the science side of MRDA, so I am so glad that you out there are able to be the science of MRDA. I can just talk about stuff.
I will say I don't intentionally eat husky dogs for lunch, so I might not know what I'm eating, but I hope it's not husky dogs.
I'm just hoping that husky dogs is like a brand of hot dog. That's where my brain goes. It's a brand of hot dog. They're husky. They're like...
Sure.
I was just, nope, never mind. Moving on. So let's talk about the roller derby happening out there. Number 17, that's Shaggy's wearing the star for Race City.
And
Race City Rebels.
they will have a power start with Defensive Destroyer in the penalty box with the star.
Yeah, so Defensive Destroyer is standing in the penalty box, which means that he has less than 10 seconds remaining on his penalty. Meanwhile, we are in the midst of a team timeout. So...
You know, it's funny, you mentioned the science side of MRDA. I do a radio show. It's called Derby Rocks, and it's on iTunes and whatnot.
Okay.
But I had a partner, Faraday's Rage, who wrote her, I think it was her doctorate on the physics of roller derby.
You know, there's been a lot of doctorates and stuff in regard, like with aspects of roller derby included. One of my favorite things is the whole like germ dispersal and tracking germs. I enjoyed the people that were doing all of that research. So if that was you,
It may have been. Who knows? I'll ask Faraday's Rage that, but I know that.
well, you check in with Faraday because let's go ahead and check in with Shaggy. Shaggy picking up lead real quick off that line with a little hop, skip, and a jump.
And Defensive Destroyer was on the track seconds after the whistle. But the defense was waiting for him, brought him all the way back past the jam line.
Indeed, 4 points so far for Shaggy. Defensive Destroyer is out of the pack and able to pick up points, but Shaggy calls it off and says, no points for you, all the points for me instead.
No soup for you.
No points. 8 points there for Race City Rebels, bringing them to 192. Lane County Concussion holding steady with their 118. As we tick down, less than 1.5 minutes remain on this period clock. Grimes with the star.
Can he get a 74-point jam in the next 1 minute and 15 seconds?
Let's watch and find out. One never knows.
He's been fairly impressive so far, doing, big guy doing apex jumps.
So birthday boy Doc Flatliner out there. Grimes out there. I heard a whistle, so someone's being assessed something, and that is Doc Flatliner being assessed a track cut. So this is a power jam for Grimes. Grimes at the front of that pack. Last two Race City Rebel blockers to beat. And there he goes, picking up lead.
Getting around Rowdy and Kidd there to finally pick up the lead there with 33 seconds left on the game clock.
Yes, so just a reminder, we will continue. If the period clock ends, we will then just revert to the jam clock. Grimes, though, pushing on that outside, coming up against for 4 points. Meanwhile, Doc Flatliner has been released from that penalty box. So let's see what's going to happen. Doc Flatliner, goes down to the ground a little bit. Grimes at the top of the pack with number 24, Punky, clearing that for another 4 points. And here we go, a little bit of jammer engagement. Doc Flatliner going up and trying to take Grimes on mano-y-mano.
It was beautiful, a 360 spin around Doc Flatliner there by Grimes. It was almost like a dancing partner.
I mean, everybody wants to dance with the doctor, especially when it's his birthday.
That's right.
Doc Flatliner still stuck there. Nice hit to the outside by number 33, Kidd, causing Grimes to have to recycle back to that pivot line. And there we have it. Doc Flatliner cleared that initial pass. Grimes with another 4. Oops, yes. Another 4. And with that, the unofficial score, Lane County Concussion 130, Race City Rebels 192.
That was a fun game. It took the second half to figure out which team was going to win.
Yep.
That's the only thing you can ever hope for, is to have a competitive game like that going into the second half, and still seeing an opportunity for Lane County to get back in it a couple times during the second half. Just down the stretch, Race City really stood up, did everything right, played great defense, and It's unofficial still, but it will become official any second now.
So the winner of this goes on to play Denver today at 3 p.m. So that will be Race City versus Denver at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we want to go ahead and thank New England Roller Derby Report, obviously, and their wonderful production sponsor, Sociopath, skater run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. They offer so many different kinds of armbands and helmet cover options for both your competition needs and scrimmaging needs. Team discounts are available. Sociopath.ca for more details. SEWCIOPATH.ca.
And we have a final score. It's Race City Rebels 192, Lane County Concussion 130. Of course, Race City is going around with a victory lap right now. The consolation lap will be soon after that by Lane County. And what a great game. What a lot of fun. And thank you so much. You were great. We had great chemistry, I think. And it was a lot of fun calling the game with you as well as,
thank you, Cashman. It has been a pleasure on behalf of part of Team Money. I am Loose Change.
I am the Cash Man.
It has been a pleasure being here with you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't go too far. There's still more fun and exciting roller derby action coming up